how to export high quality videos in CapCut PC. Hey guys, in this video, I will show you how to export high quality videos in CapCut PC. Alright, so let's begin with the video. Alright, let's pretend that this video is something I'm finished with and I want to export it. What do I need to do? The very first thing you have to do is go up to the top right where it says export. You're going to click that and you're going to get this little pop-up box. We're going to go over each and every one of these so you know exactly what settings you need to export your video with. So the very first thing you want to do is title your project. I'm just going to put my example. And then the next is where do you want the file to go when it's done being exported. Now I have a specific folder that I like to keep all of my videos that I export to and upload to YouTube or TikTok and other social media platforms. I would highly recommend that you have the same a little dedicated folder for all of your final videos so you know exactly where they are. So once you select that, we're coming down here where it says video exporting, and the very first thing that you're going to see is resolution. Now you can only export your video to the highest resolution that you recorded in. So if you recorded in 1080p, you can't export to 4K because that's not how it works. You're just going to end up with a bigger file size but not better quality video. So only export at the highest level that you recorded at. So this video was recorded at 1080p, so I'm going to export it at 1080p. The bitrate I recommend just going with what's recommended. There's really no reason for it to be higher unless maybe you're uploading to YouTube because YouTube will allow for higher bitrates. But if you're uploading to social media, you usually just want to keep it the same as the video that you're filming in. Codec, you don't have to worry about this. I would highly recommend just keeping it H.264. You could do HEVC, which is what iPhone videos typically come in, but I don't recommend it. And then I've never used AV1 because the files are usually too compressed, so I just stick with H.264. Alright, format if you want MP4 or more. I really don't think there's much of a difference. I have never heard anything say that there's much of a difference between these two, so I always just go with MP4. And then frame rate, I really just recommend that you keep it at the same frame rate as your footage. So in this case for me, my footage was filmed at 30 frames per second, so I'm going to keep it at 30 frames per second. Alright, at the very end, you're going to see this export audio. If you also want to export just the audio, or maybe you don't even want to export the video, but you just want to export the audio in case of maybe a podcast or something, you could click this little box where it says export audio, and then you can choose the format. You either want MP3, WAV, the AAC or FLAC. I usually just stick with MP3 because it's a smaller file size and it's easily read by pretty much every single audio streaming service. So I'm just going to click MP3, and then if I hit export, it's going to start exporting my video. Now wherever you chose to keep your file, if you decide to do export audio and export video, you'll get two different files, just an audio file and the video. So it's really simple to use. Those are the settings that I would recommend doing. So that's basically how you can export high quality videos in CapCut PC. So that's all for this video. Consider subscribing if you find it helpful, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks.